Welcome to this weekend's Behind the Mitten. John Gonzalez, along with Amy Sherman, having a great time as we do every single weekend, traveling the state of Michigan and always finding a little fun along the way, right, Amy?
That's right. That's what we do. We love to bring you behind the scenes of great events, restaurants, breweries, and other things that are happening all across this great state. And you know what we decided this week, John?
Yeah.
That we saw it was snowing like crazy over on the western side of the state. So we thought, why not drive a few hours to go skiing in Gaylord?
More snow. That's from this last couple of days. It was pretty big. And but you're right. We're in Gaylord, Michigan right now. We're going to do a couple things on this weekend's show. We'll take you to Gaylord, and we'll also get some other interviews for you. But just happy to be at one of our favorite places in Michigan.
Yeah, we're right here at Treetops Resort, and they're about to kick off their winter season. And the slopes are open with both man-made snow and all of this beautiful natural snow that's been falling like crazy. And so you can come up here anytime and enjoy their newly renovated lodge and rooms. Right, Barry Owens?
Correct. We're sitting in one of the lobbies right now, and it's very exciting. Great weekend. We're in the midst of our free ski weekend, which is a partnership between a bunch of hotels here in Gaylord and the ski hill here at Treetops. So it's neat if people stay in a hotel here in Treetops, they get 2 free lift tickets. So it's kind of special. You can, if you're an experienced skier, you can kind of knock the rust off. And if you've never skied before, it's a great way to get out. Or if you got young kids, get them out too. And there's free group lessons and reduced rentals. And
sounds like Gonzo should be heading up here. I mean, he should be here this weekend learning to ski.
Yeah, because he's somebody's kid, isn't he?
He's somebody's kid.
He's somebody's kid.
Just walk around. Hey, will you take me skiing?
Someone take me skiing, please.
I'll take you, Gonzo.
Thank you, buddy.
We should also welcome Paul Beachnau from the Gaylord Tourism Bureau to Behind the Mitten. You are king of all things snow, so this is your favorite time of the year.
Oh, my gosh. You know, it really is, and it's not Christmas per se, but it's the fact that we're getting great snow. We were off to a great start so far in December, and it's just really a really fun time.
Yeah, it is a fun time up here, and you guys offer so many different things. But from treetops, and then of course, you know what you do at the Tourism Bureau. Amy and I she walked in there for the first time into your office, which is right off the main drag there. And I love that you can walk in there and you have brochures for so many different things to experience.
Yeah, we do, you know, and we're really a great area for a lot of eclectic events. You know, we've talked about those before, but winter rafting and snowshoeing and cross-country skiing. And right now is a great time to do, before the snow gets too deep, fat tire biking. You know, a lot of people want to get out there. So they're just starting to groom cross-country ski trails now with all the snow that we've gotten. Of course, you can snowshoe anywhere, but there's plenty. I've been up to the Pigeon River Forest with a friend of mine and done a little hiking out there. And it's absolutely beautiful and peaceful, and it's just a great time to get out. And right now, with all the hustle and bustle, what a great time to get outside and get a little relaxation and fresh air.
Take a breath.
You bet.
Yeah, I like that. Well, you guys do have so much information there, and sometimes it can be overwhelming if you're coming to a new town that you don't know that much about. And you guys are always willing to help plan a great trip.
We have a great visitor center staff. Our number is 800-345-8621. And if you have any questions about the area, our staff can help you out. Or GaylordMichigan.net. We've talked about winter rafting, and we've talked about the great trail network. You know, we'll help direct you if you've got kids and your first time with, you know, cross-country skiing or snowshoeing. We've got trails over at Aspen Park. And if you really want a backwoods experience like no other in Michigan, you know, we'll send you out to the Pigeon River Country State Forest, which you guys have been to, which is rustic. It's not intersected. It's a 100,000-acre state forest with Michigan's only free-ranging elk herd and one of the only free-ranging elk herds east of the Mississippi River.
You know, all the times I've been to Gaylord, I've never gone to see the elk herd. I have to rectify that.
You definitely do.
Shame me, Polly B.
They're absolutely magnificent, and right now, you know, they're moving around a lot. They are fully, you know, you'll see with racks, these enormous racks, and you know, it's really spellbinding to see these animals that are 800-pound animals. The other day I was out I was out at the elk park. Gaylord has an elk park, and there were literally 2 male elk with their horns locked, kind of jockeying for territory, and it's absolutely fascinating. It's just really a fun thing to see.
That would be super cool to see when they're battling it out.
Oh,
I like that idea.
Barry, do you see any elk here at Treetops in your properties?
We do. Actually, we see it more at the north property, and we see it more this time of the year. You know, when all the golfers come in the summertime, they kind of clear out, but they'll come back onto the property. So there's just a great, as Paul mentioned, a great elk herd in the area. But one of the neat things about the elk park is you are guaranteed to see elk there. I mean, if you go there into the city next to the Elks Lodge.
That's appropriate.
That is true.
But
Only one in the world, I think, literally, Elks Lodge next to an elk park. I'm not kidding you.
Right. But it's, it's funny. You know, it's tough to see them in the wild. But, there's an enclosure there that, how many acres is that, Paul?
That's about 100 acres, and our city maintains a herd of about 40, and there's some cyca deer and fallow deer, and there's a gaggle of turkeys over there.
A gaggle.
Lot of wildlife over there.
Yeah, it's if you've never seen one in the wild, it is it's breathtaking. I mean, and it sometimes you can get. Fortunately, there's a fence in front of you, but you can get within 5 feet of an elk.
Whoa. And they're big. Elk are really big.
They are. They're huge.
They're no deer.
No. Yeah. It's, it's funny. You basically, an elk's probably 5 to 6 times the size of a deer.
Wow. That's massive.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. I was there last year sometime, and there were a couple of the males going at it, and that's just, you sit there, and they're so loud, too.
Oh, yeah.
When they're going head to head like that, you're like, it takes your breath away. You're like, whoa, it's that, like, wow.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
I love it. Well, if you want to come up and see the elk herd, you can come stay at Treetops Resort. And you guys just completed a massive renovation, over $4 million. Is that right?
4.5.
Oh, so sorry, 4.5.
Yeah.
Bear claw. So you guys you redid all your lobbies, all your rooms. Everything has been upgraded and updated.
It has. It's our staff did an incredible job. This thing's taken place over the last year, dealing with being open and doing it. And, at times that it's a struggle, but lion's share of the people are very understanding. And it's nice to say we're essentially done and ready to welcome people for the 2018 season, for starting with the winter and then into the summer.
That's really exciting. If people want to make a reservation, they probably should, since people are so excited to come and check you guys out. Where do they go to do that? They
can call us at 888-TREETOPS, or they can go to treetops.com, and there's a great online reservation system there, too.
Awesome. And probably if people want to plan a trip to Gaylord and need your assistance.
GaylordMichigan.net.
I love it. So easy. Well, it's always a great time to head on up here to beautiful Gaylord, right, John?
Yeah, it's always one of my favorite places to come and get away, because you can do so many different things during all the seasons, too.
Right,
we come here year round.
In our downtown, just this past fall in October, completed a complete renovation of our downtown, and there's been a whole new food vibe, a lot of growth in the restaurants. You guys have talked a little bit about Snowbelt Brewery, which is doing...
We might be going there later to do
Beer of the Week.
Iron Pig Smokehouse, and a new Alloy Bamboo restaurant is downtown.
That, yeah.
Sugar Bowl's been renovated. Of course, Alpine Tavern, but a number of new restaurants downtown. And the nice thing about Gaylord is we're known as Michigan's Alpine Village, and our downtown absolutely looks cooler than ever right now.
Especially with the snow falling on it.
With the snow,
yeah.
It looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it is a really unique downtown if you've never seen it before.
No
everything
question.
is Alpine themed. It has to be, right?
It does, yeah. We have the highest elevation of any city in the lower peninsula of Michigan, and we would like to think that we really focus on customer service, travel, tourism, and hospitality, and the viewscapes like here at Treetops and at Seagull Club and, Sherman Ridge, Gonzo Falls, a number of
we
places.
do have landmarks named after us.
That we have named, and we are the headwaters for 5 major major rivers here in the Lower Peninsula, and there's literally areas where water comes out of the ground, and you'll never see anything more pristine and more sparkling than Upper and Lower Gonzo Falls.
All right, it's always a great time in Gaylord. You know what? We'll be back in Gaylord a little bit later to do Beer of the Week, so stay tuned to Behind the Mitten.
Hello, this is Richard Barrett Owens from Treetops Resort. Find out everything you can at treetops.com, and this is Behind the Mitten.
And welcome back to Behind the Mitten. John Gonzalez along with Amy Sherman, having a great time, Amy, as we do every single weekend. And boy, I can't believe the holidays are right upon us.
They really are, literally next week. But there are so many events that are happening all across the state. You have lists, I know, up on mlive.com.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about them all kind of month of things that you can do. And you still have a little bit of time if you want to order some of that delicious Murdoch's fudge to have shipped around the country.
That's right. We also want to tell you about a lot of great concerts coming up, not only in the month of December, but looking into the new year. Go to mlive.com again for all that information. But anyway, we work closely with our friends over at the Forest Hills Fine Arts Center, and they have a really special show coming up in January.
They do. It's part of their series for the 2017-2018 season. And what they have coming up on January 17th, Wednesday, is the Tower of Power 50th Anniversary Tour. And I think we have somebody on the line who might be able to tell us more about the Tower of Power.
We do. We want to welcome to the show Emilio Castillo. He is one of the co-founders of the legendary Tower of Power. Emilio, welcome to Behind the Mitten. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Well, we really appreciate you being on the show. And before we get to, Tower of Power, I said legendary, and I do mean that. You guys have been around for nearly 50 years now, playing some great classical soul music, American rock and roll, horn-driven, just some classic sounds. But first of all, we got to ask you about your Michigan connection, brother.
Yeah, I grew up in Detroit till I was 11 years old. I was born in 1950, so, I lived there during the 50s, and I left there in 1962.
So you left right when it was kind of in its heyday and it was so busy and bubbling. What do you remember about Detroit? What did you like about living in the city?
It's a real city, a very metropolitan city. A lot was happening, and my father was a bartender, and so he was in the nightlife, and so we go downtown a lot. A lot of people know that one of my favorite things to do when we come to Detroit to play is go out after the show and get Lafayette, Coney Island.
Yes, my man. You made the right call there. Not that American crap.
Emilio, that's
Lafayette's the only way.
That's an inside joke we'll tell you about when you come to Grand Rapids. But Emilio, as the story goes for Tower of Power, you guys were called Motown, correct?
The Motowns, yeah.
The Motowns.
We got into soul music when I was a teenager, and we were called the Black Orpheus, and that name didn't stick. And then my mother said, you guys should call yourselves the Motowns if you're going to play soul music, because you're from Detroit. Me and my brother were both in the band. And so we did. We were the Motowns until I met my partner, Doc Kupka, and he came in, and we wanted to get in the Fillmore, but we knew we'd never get in there with a name like the Motown, so we picked the name Tower of Power.
And as the story goes, too, you guys were rehearsing, getting ready to make this thing happen. Things were going a little slow, but you actually moved back to Detroit for a period, or not sure what was going to happen with the band, right?
No, I didn't move back. My parents moved back, and my dad said, you can stay out here for a year, but if you don't make it within a year, you have to come back and be with us in Detroit. And by the end of that year, we were so broke, so destitute, and so hard up, I told the guys, once we do this audition at the Fillmore West, if nothing happens, I'm leaving to go for the holidays to be with my family, and if nothing happens, I'm not coming back. And a couple of days after the audition, Doc called me and said, you got to come back. You got to come back. You dug it. And I said, who dug it? And he said, Bill Graham. He wants to sign us. And we got signed to our first record deal, San Francisco Records.
Man, you're talking about some legendary names there. The Fillmore, all these classic sounds from California at the time in the late 60s. And you guys got to be part of that scene back in the day, but you guys were a little different for what was happening. You weren't like the Grateful Dead.
Yeah, that whole, psychedelic scene had been running for about 4 years almost. The Big Brother and the Holding Company, Quicksilver, Messenger Service, Grateful Dead. But during that time, Bill Graham had been bringing in all this other styles of music, Miles Davis and Sam and Dave and James Brown